If you grew up in Kenya in the 80s, 90s, or even 2000s, chances are you remember sitting with your family on Sunday evenings waiting for Vitimbi to come on KBC. You will hear the opening music and you will know laughter was guaranteed. And right there, in the middle of it all, was the beloved character, Mama Kayai, played by Mary Kavere. But what really happened to her? Where did she come from? What was her life like beyond the TV screen? And where is she now years after Vitimbi went off air? Mary Kavere, better known as Mama Kayai, was born in Kakamega County, Western Kenya in the early 1950s. She grew up in a humble background where life was simple but tough. Entertainment back then was not like today. No TikTok, no Netflix, not even private TV stations. But Mary had one thing that stood out from her childhood: a love for performance and storytelling. From an early age, she was drawn to drama and acting, especially in school and church plays. She had a natural flair for comedy, and people loved her ability to switch characters and bring out humor in everyday life situations. Her community didn't really think acting could be a real career. Like many young girls in rural Kenya then, the expectation was to marry, raise a family, or become a teacher or a nurse. But Mary was different. She dreamed of being on stage. Her big break came in the 1970s when she moved to Nairobi. At the time, live theatre was gaining ground, especially through groups like the Kenyan National Theatre and small performance troupes. It was here that she crossed paths with Mzee Ojwang, Hatari, Benson Wanjau, who would later become her iconic on-screen husband in Vitimbi. Their chemistry was instant. Mary's natural motherly figure and warm humor complemented Mzee Ojwang's grumpy, strict character perfectly. They started acting together in Vitimbi, which first aired in the late 1970s on VOK, Voice of Kenya, later renamed KBC. The show was built around everyday Kenyan life: marriage, family struggles, nosy neighbors, cultural differences, all told with humor. Mary took on the role of Mama Kayai, the long-suffering but loving wife of Mzee Ojwang. The character became so popular that people started calling her Mama Kayai even in real life. Through the 80s and 90s, Vitimbi became a household name. Almost every Kenyan family tuned in. Remember back then, there was only one TV station, KBC, so everyone watched the same shows. Mama Kayai's role resonated with millions of Kenyans because she reflected the everyday Kenyan mother, patient, caring, but also witty and strong when faced with her husband's antics. Her impact was so big that she became a role model for women, showing strength in the family setting. She represented Kenyan culture authentically, from the way she dressed to her accent to her values. She helped build Kenyan comedy as a respected art form. At their peak, Mama Kayai and Mzee Ojwang were more than just actors. They were national treasures. They performed not only on TV but also in live shows across the country. They even performed for President Daniel Arap Moi at State House on national holidays. Their fame wasn't just in Kenya. Ugandans, Tanzanians, and even Kenyans in the diaspora knew Vitimbi. But while fame was huge, the financial rewards weren't. Many times, KBC actors were paid very little despite their massive popularity. Still, Mama Kayai continued because of her passion. As the years passed, things began to change. By the late 1990s and 2000s, private TV stations entered Kenya like Citizen TV, KTN, and NTV. New shows, new stars, and new competitions emerged. Vitimbi, which had dominated for decades, started to lose its shine. The format was old school, production quality was low, and younger viewers were moving to newer content. Mama Kayai and the cast tried to keep going, but eventually Vitimbi went off air. For Mama Kayai, this was a painful transition. After more than 3 decades of entertaining Kenyans, the spotlight dimmed. And then came the biggest blow, the death of Mzee Ojwang in 2015. For Mama Kayai, this wasn't just the loss of a colleague. It was like losing a lifelong partner. For over 30 years, she and Mzee Ojwang had been husband and wife on screen. Their partnership was legendary, and his passing marked the end of an era. After that, Mama Kayai rarely appeared in the media. She lived a quieter life, away from the chaos of showbiz. Mama Kayai now lives a quiet life in Nairobi, away from the glitz and attention of her heyday. She occasionally makes appearances when there are tributes or award events celebrating Kenya's pioneers in acting. For example, in 2020, she was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Kalasha Awards, a recognition of her immense contribution to the Kenyan entertainment industry. She has also spoken in interviews about how tough it is for old actors who gave their lives to the industry but received little financial support. Mama Kayai has called on the government to create structures to support veteran artists, many of whom are now living in poverty. Despite the struggles, she remains proud of her legacy. She is remembered not only as an actress but as a trailblazer who opened doors for modern Kenyan comedy. Looking back, the story of Mama Kayai is more than just one actress. It is the story of Kenyan entertainment itself, how it started, how it grew, and the challenges it faced. From a little girl in Kakamega with a dream to becoming the mother of Kenyan comedy, Mama Kayai's journey is inspiring. She showed that passion can outlive poverty and that love for art can leave a lasting legacy. Even today, when Kenyans talk about comedy, Vitimbi and Mama Kayai's name always come up. She may no longer be on our screens every Sunday night, but her impact lives on in every Kenyan comedian, every skit, and every laugh we share. So the next time you hear the word Vitimbi, remember Mama Kayai, a pioneer, a mother, a figure, and an icon who gave Kenyans decades of joy.